Hey guys, so in this video I wanted to talk a bit about Keaton's course, some valuable stuff that I learned from it, and how I think it can be helpful for you. So let's get into it. So the first thing I'd like to talk about is the community. So one interesting thing about it is you can always find somebody who's ahead of you and somebody who's behind you. So you can always find somebody who you can help, and you can always find somebody who can help you. So if you have any questions on any part of running an agency, like for example, I was having some trouble with one of my sales calls. Uh, it was one of my first sales calls, so I was reaching out to some people, and this one guy who had experience with hundreds of cold calls and gave me some excellent advice on what to do uh, with my first sales call, and I actually ended up that was actually how I got my first client. So I never would have gotten it without the community's help. And another thing worth mentioning too is Keaton's uh, group coaching. So you can see here, here's all the recordings he did. There's quite a handful now, but basically you can ask Keaton any questions about like running your agency if any of them come up. If you can't find any answers to your questions in the course, uh, he'll be glad to answer them on the group coaching uh, Zoom calls. But yeah, so basically, if you have any questions on running an agency, they're pretty much all answered in the course. If you can't find them in the course, they're likely going to be added soon, or you can find your answer in the community, or you can hop on a coaching call and get your answer that way. So it's a very in-depth way to answer basically any question you could possibly have uh, about running your own agency. Oh, and another thing worth mentioning too is that you can see here I have 126 out of 230 lessons completed. About 6 months ago, I was actually at around 99% completed because one of these check marks was kind of glitched out, so it wouldn't mark me as completed on one of the lessons. So yeah, I was at like 99%, but I was able to see every lesson in Keaton's course. But fast forward 6 months later to now, and there's now practically an entire new course's worth of content uh, on top of what I already saw. So in summary, I have some catching up to do. I'll find that pretty fun. But speaking of the lessons, I should probably give you a good overview of what's in the course. So you can see this welcome section, client snapshot overview, business foundations, business housekeeping, mindset and productivity. And I'll just kind of scroll through so you can see what's in the course. I remember this other course I was looking at, this other course that I got on Udemy. It was made by a guy who had never even run a marketing agency before. So he was basically putting together information on how to do digital marketing, how to do Facebook ads, but it wasn't really put together in a cohesive structure that could really help you run an agency. But Keaton's course, on the other hand, was very helpful at not only organizing everything, but also tailoring it to running uh, a social media marketing agency. Since he has firsthand experience with everything that he's put down in the course, he knows everything that he's uh, you that he talks about and has the experience to back it up. So yeah, I suppose now I should talk about some of the sections that I found really interesting, some of the sections that have helped me out, and some of the sections that can help you out too. So I suppose I'll start with business foundations. It's been a really helpful one. The big picture, number one skill for building business, everything about business is probably wrong. How to buy more life, niche masterclass, market research masterclass, and choosing your service. Niche masterclass and market research masterclass are actually very helpful for me. It reminds me of the story of this musician named, uh, I think it was Joshua Bell. Uh, he was practicing some classical music in a subway. Uh, he was a pretty professional musician by that time, but since he was performing in a subway where people are trying to get from one location to another, nobody really stopped to listen to him, and that kind of reminds me of how it is uh, with like finding your perfect niche. You have to find a you basically have to find a group of people who value your services, and that's what the niche masterclass and the market research masterclass did for me, and it was able to really help me out with getting my first client. So that was really helpful for me. Uh, this next section, business housekeeping, it was also very good. It helped me organize all those one-time tasks that I needed to do, like registering a business, get an agency logo, professional business email, business name, all those things. After I was able to get everything done here, uh, I just kind of set it and forget it. So that was nice. So mindset and productivity. You can see I haven't looked at this one yet because I don't have any green check marks over any of it. But I wanted to mention it because over in Business Foundations, uh, I thought he was pretty comprehensive with like the right mindset to have with running an agency. But he kind of took the extra step and made uh, a whole new section about mindset and productivity. So I'm pretty excited to take a look at this and see what I can learn from it. And lastly, the marketing sections are pretty useful too. Uh, Learning the skills of sales and marketing, uh, going through these sections taught me to be comfortable with getting myself on camera, like when I created my VSL for the first time, uh, as well as setting up my website. Uh, those were things that those were problems that I was pretty happy to solve, and I felt accomplished after creating my VSL and setting up my website. So yeah, and of course there's a lot of information on doing outreach, uh, more stuff on sales, operations, uh, systems, and the list just keeps on growing. Uh, it keeps growing by the day too. So yeah, I think Keaton's course has been extremely helpful at helping me build out my marketing agency, and it has a lot of very extremely valuable information that you wouldn't be able to find on YouTube or just the internet. So if you enjoy this or think you'll find value out of it, uh, don't be afraid to check out some of Keaton's content and, uh, and potentially even check out his course too. So with that said, I wish you a very good day. See ya.